Fire, what you saying?
Yes, Fire Key. Device is life as usual.
We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread Podcast, giving thanks for the ability to give thanks. Give thanks for everyone been supporting the thing from those times to now. Special announcement, if you are in the Philadelphia, Delaware, NJ area, make sure you come out Roots and Culture Reggae in the Park. This Sunday, July 25th, we'll be out there from 2 to 7 p.m. Music provided by Medina International, Proper Tone Sound, and yours truly. Special guest all the way from St. Thomas, Jamaica, along with this brethren here, the one they call Autarchii, said he'd be passing through. So we look forward to that. We will be outside at 29th and Chalmers Park, Philadelphia. That's this Sunday, 29th and Chalmers Park. Entry fee, Heart of Love. Fire, what are we talking about today?
We talk about the ego and the ignorance of man. We make him really broke and miserable in this system. Because, because ego is not a thing where, first and foremost, let me clarify. I think what ego really is, it need a definition beyond the dictionary. Because most people don't even know the dictionary meaning of ego, much less what it means in our broader aspect. Because a lot of people have ego and don't know it, you know. Because some man say some statement to you and them things to them humbling, but then I realize that them egotistic within the realms of that too, you know. So ego is a thing where me feel like said it's just our human beings are programmed to go above humility. And when them go above humility, that's when them get out of place and them thought process can't be in line anymore. You see me I say? So that I want to clarify first and foremost. Ego and insecurity go hand in hand, because usually me never see a person yet who have ego where don't have insecurity, because we feel like two of them fuel each other. And that's the reason why a person who egotistic is so, how would I call it now, unnatural and harmful to the environment. Because once you skip processes and every single thing where somebody emulate after you, it's going to be destructive towards the force of nature. And these are the first thing we really have to get out of the line and know, say, that is the reason why we can't be egotistic and we can't be insecure, because it's going to fuel a whole heap of different things. Because every time you hear a man a reason who insecure, you know, you realize it has to do with somebody else's vision, with them want to emulate that vision, you know. But yes, still you check it out, them not put in the actual work if you get towards the vision. So now it starts skew them mind, and them start feel like them have a whole heap of different enemy all over the place too, you know. Enemy and some forces where things not even pay attention towards them neither, you know. You see me, I said them start internalize all of these things now, and them start become even more harmful. So that's how we look on it, see, because we're not going into it yet, you know, we just show the people them from the top level how both of these forces are really destructive, and then we are going to break it down for the ones there.
No, it's a great point still, a very great point, because as you stated, people internalize other people's expectations of them, which is a problem, right? They get frustrated because they're not meeting those expectations, even though they're not working towards expectations. Then they have their own expectations about themselves that they're not working towards. The key word is working towards consistently. You're not doing that consistently, and this frustration vibe comes in. And I think the ego doesn't allow you to accept your shortcomings and be truthful with yourself and say you need to grow and work on things. I think the ego pushes you to deflect and always blame external people or circumstances for your certain situation. So if you're starting something, right, and it's just like, instead of me acknowledging, saying, I see the potential in myself, I really see the potential in myself, right? But at this moment, I'm not there and I have work to do. It's like, nah, you know, everybody else, this and that, instead of me saying, like, bro, I need to really grow at my craft. I really need to work at this thing consistently. And I'll be saying consistently the whole show, consistently, Fire. You see what you said about nature? It's so, hey, Fire, I got some basil, some thyme, and some scotch bonnet peppers I'm growing here, right? And you want to see how this thing just react to the consistency. And add some up days, add some down days, because some days the basil droopy. And I'm scared it's about to drop dead, you know, for whatever reason. And you water it and it build up again, but it's just like life. But the thing is, the consistently, consistency. I'm consistently ordering the plans. And people aren't consistently working on their craft or nurturing their talents or nurturing whatever thing they want to do, whatever skill they want to develop, whatever characteristic they want to develop. And I think that's where people are really dropping the ball in regards to as you said, disconnected from nature.
Exactly. It's so funny because with this ego thing now, it blind them, so the ego blind, and that is so true now, because the reason what they make a while ago, it's a really valid point in a fire, because the ego blind, because you see, if you so blinded, you just start give up on all the plan and not even realize I just the more work you need for put in, water at the right time and make sure say it probably all in the wrong spot to see me. You want to make sure say not get too much sunlight or exposed to, what I say? And this timing. So ego stop you from timing too, because it's a thing where most people overstand. If it's not your time, it's not your time in a fire, because the same thing with the plant them. You can't force the plant the pepper for coming in 1 month. Scotch banding pepper now just jump up so in 1 month. You have to time it. So most man don't get it. Like an artist, you tell him, say, say, you need to work on the melody there. Them lyrics they want to sharpen up, But a man I tell you, say, no, I'm the man. Because some people over here so tell him, say, yo, you're the biggest thing in an artist. Him no want to develop no further. Because in a film himself, him I tell himself, say, him reach, because him friend him on the corner, tell him, say, him reach.
I just want to intervene on that thought 2 sec, right? You see, when you're surrounded by people who haven't done anything, it's very detrimental. It's extremely detrimental. And I advise anyone, not to say you can't take advice from people, but if your circle is around people who truly haven't done things or accomplished things, have been on that tribe or even been around it, highly recommend very careful what you internalize for them. You brought up an extremely great point. Those people don't understand the amount of work that's needed to reach a certain level, right? And what they do is they try to force right your greatness. And what I mean by that is this. You start something on Monday. They're pressuring you by Friday on why isn't the biggest thing ever. And that throws off people. You've been doing something for the year. And in their mind, because you're doing something for a year, you're supposed to be whatever on some level. Not understanding these things take time. And no, the reason I brought it up, because that discourages a lot of people. Because what happens now, they're almost presenting you like a failure, because you didn't reach whatever you're supposed to reach in their time frame. But their time frame is not realistic, because they don't know how much time it takes for things, and people on different time frames. One man may get through it in a year. One man, it may take 10 years. One man, it may take 20 years. So we can't even look at the next man and said, and they like to do that too, well, such and such did that in that time. Well, that's that person you're on this trial. I don't know what's going on with them. So be very careful of your circle.
Yeah, because that is always one of the reasons. Anything you find somebody egotistic is them have influence behind them, And sometimes the influence not even have to be direct. Sometimes it's an indirect influence, because them are internalized for them struggle a particular way and I compare it towards a next thing with them say. Because I'm alright. Man of the music and him feel like say, all right, look, Bob Marley did accomplish these things. He want to be like Bob Marley. But what was the aim and what was the intention of Bob Marley doing this music? What was the sacrifices that Bob Marley make? Bob Marley did have to make some different type of sacrifices where you not ready for make, you will never ever make. So how can you reach to that level? You see me I say? And I them thing that most of the ones them not see, because me I tell you, fire, we see it so much times over and over again where them start sending out a whole heap of people to the forefront, knowing that these people are not ready as yet. And it's the same thing to our time back, we not even just want to focus too much on ego and not focus on the insecurity part of it. Because the insecurity part of it is the part where I get overlooked, We talk about the ego, but the insecurity part get overlooked so much, because check this. When you are dealing with progress, insecurity is a thing where it make you dip on a trend line where you go up in regards to progress. But then once the insecurity starts steeping and start play a role, you start go straight down. Because look on the example here. We are reason now we are do this podcast and we put this effort for inform the people them. And we are inform the people them now. When you check it out, because I can remember in the past, you see a comment. Somebody make a comment on YouTube one of the podcasts, them good reasoning, you know. And you're the person I reason. I make a statement say. Me have on a red, green, and gold at them. So why me have on that stupid hat? That's the person comment. You see me I say? Isn't that insecurity? That tell you insecurity, you know, because we are dealing with progress on this side, which is a trend line we are talking about going up. And a person will comment and I say, why am I have to wear that stupid hat? You know what is the insecurity of that person? That person can't fathom the fact, say, a reasoning is so pure, they have to include negativity in it. Them insecure for wear anything where them want to wear, you know. So you see, because of them insecurity now, they have to make sure so them put that off on somebody else. Regardless of the positive, let me introduce this negative because my insecurity lead me to always be negative. And if negative is not involved, I will not have anything to say. I will not be included. I will not have a seat at this table. So you see where insecurity to it drag you straight down and take you off of the path. Because what type of strive or success that person could have focusing on that when a reasoning is there in front of them for them to learn something? What can they learn from the reasoning if they are distracted by a hat? You see me I say? So it make you start shift from the point and it now make you get towards no progress in a life. Same way. So these are the things where ego and insecurity can do. It take you because a man can so insecure and so egotistic that you tell them all that thing and it's so accurate and right, but because them so dedicated towards being partial, it allowed them to tell you, say, no, well, yeah, I said, Junior, no, Autarchii, that is wrong. I'm not following what you were saying. Me I go follow what me I say, even when time me just a work off our opinion and the facts is there, me still like a debate the facts. Sad reality.
And you know, fight that insecurity thing because all right, you see when someone really going after something, most people, due to their insecurity, don't put in full effort. And I learned this a lot with being around teenagers and teaching them. They're protecting, like I want to call it their groundings, like they breaker. Like you gotta break an electric box. Their protection is I'm not fully gonna put in full effort because if it don't work out, I can say, well, I didn't really try. Insecurity, there's another aspect of insecurity also with people that when something works out for them and they really don't believe in themselves, they're scared in their mind. They feel they're a fake and they're scared of being exposed. So that's why they don't try new things. Like if something works out, they'll kind of hover there, but they're not going to go into nothing else because it's like their ego can't take starting over and not being a man in a particular environment. You get what I'm saying? Or dealing with the learning curve again. And that's what I noticed what stunts a lot of people. I can speak from personal experience. I'm fortunate enough to have conquered that. And you make more progress when you're constantly going in areas that you don't know. Because you really increase your ability to obtain new skills and new information. And I could give you a prime example of editing, right? I have no videography background. I was the first videos on I Never Knew TV were done in Apple iMovie. If you check, right, I can put it where I got it. So I was like, fine, I gotta get this thing going, right? And when I bought Premiere Pro, I didn't know what the heck was going on there. And I had to close it for like 3 weeks and just leave it because it was real intimidating. But I had to open it and work on it, and you just go through that learning curve. You know, and there's just so many different things. That's why I have a lot of skills because I'm always going through that learning curve in new environments, and I'm not scared. I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Right. And I think the more that you can embrace that, the more that you can grow and the more skills you could obtain. We're talking about obtaining skills, right? We're talking about men life obtaining skills. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and you have to constantly be pushing yourself. I'm not talking about no craziness about not sleeping and working all day and like some inspiration video. I'm just talking about reality. You really do have to push yourself and put yourself in different environments, speaking to different people, because that's the only way you're gonna increase your ability to earn and do stuff. You get what I'm saying? Dudes don't have enough skills because they lock in the box and they don't want to try nothing.
Now, one part, you see, that what I say is a great thing, but one thing more expound upon, you see that ability to earn part, take that out of your mind. That's the first part I want to tell every one of the man them, or every one of the woman them, anybody, take that out of your mind, because that is the real thing where I call the ego. That is the real thing where I call the insecurity. Because every single body now, they're on this point where them want earn, I think about money. So imagine you start thinking about money, where is the passion? The passion gone. So you see, and at that them not understanding now. You have to have the passion, and you have to have the vision, and you have to have the drive towards it before you can start earn. Because you're going back to Bob Marley again. You think the gang did I think both make some millions, right? So the gang they think for put in the work, and now the gang say if the money come, it come. And that most of the people them not understand. So you see, it's a real misalignment, same way. And I mentioned a topic, I think earlier about the ISL, or they know how to start from apply movie, Premiere Pro, and they get it because they understand, say, there's a mission to be done. This mission must be accomplished. And a lot of these people don't know anything about accomplishing a mission. Don't the mission accomplished, show them know about the movie. You see me I say? And that is the thing now, because the next thing we're really important for discuss in this reasoning about ignorance and insecurity is ego and insecurity. The next additional topic is the ignorance, because when you think about it in a fire, when you really sit down and think about it fire. Like they just give them a speech a while ago, and what they say is a beautiful statement. How much of them can even relate to that? Like, how them are gonna relate to it when them have ignorance and them can't even think for themselves? The first thing them get taught that ignorance is bliss. How the hell ignorance to be bliss?
Fire, I gotta touch on this ignorance, right? For whatever reason, it's like uncool to be smart in certain realms, right? Let's keep it real, especially in certain communities. It's kind of uncool. But the wild part about life is that those who have the information are the ones that control everything. If you are ignorant to a topic, you can't protect yourself from being exploited. I tell these kids all the time, right? Within our society, you're going to be exploited, but you want to get as much information you can to minimize your exploitation. And one of the biggest ignorances that we have, is that a term? Ignorant behaviors, I don't know, is towards accomplishment, like the process of accomplishment. These finances, fire. The finances. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about these finances. Black people are always talking about Black liberation and struggle and all that. Fire, there has to be a lot of sacrifice that has to take place for a change. In your family, fire. Forget collectively. Let's talk about in your own family. And one of the practices we need to change, fire, is how we spend money. Because I don't know how the finances really go back to insecurity and ignorance, because you don't feel good about yourself and you want to obtain something somebody wanted you to obtain, and you do certain things. But the ignorance with the finances is that I think the average salary for American is like 50 grand, right? For all Americans. For Black people, obviously, it's much lower. But most people understand they on fixed income. I think that's the thing. Like, we need to like clear up. Like, you only have one source of income that's taxed heavily. So, it's not like you don't have any benefits, you don't have any tax deductions, you don't have anything to shelter. It's just like out in the open, and it gets hit up with everything. You have your Medicare, your Social Security, federal, state, health insurance that comes out. So you're not going home with much. Let's say a person's going home with like 58 cents on the dollar, maybe 65 cents on the dollar, realistically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not tackling sales tax for other things too, like for food and cell phone bills and all that. So most people live off their gross and not their net.
Yeah, because them delusional enough. When you think about it the real way, fire. Like, look at the billionaires that you would see in society. Check even the clothes that them wear, and how much should them clothes cost compared to the average person who would up on the economical ladder, the bottom of the economical ladder, and them poor, so to speak. Them wear clothes for look rich, but which is the weird part to me, because what is looking rich if the man them were a billionaire don't look like this? So you get sold now in a thought process of what rich looks like, and that is that again a fuel the ego, and that again a spark the ignorance, and that again lower how secure you are. So your insecurities them does start goes through the roof now. So if you think about it in a fire, is the as Malcolm X tell you, the media we make a man look innocent. A man innocent look guilty, and a man guilty look innocent. At the same thing, you might tell about the ego, and you might tell about insecurity, because you know yourself now overstand say you're just being played. They just tell you a while ago say they're on a fixed income, yet still you want to get into all of these things just because outwardly you can look like a person who is rich. And you know, see the problem in that?
It's two things I want to add to that, Fire. One, I don't think they see a problem with it. The truth, like, I don't think they see a problem because I think what it is that, they're so bombarded. See that TV thing wicked. That's why you got to ease up on it and these messages that they're giving you. You're bombarded with this all day that you're nothing. So you can't buy a yacht. You can't buy a mansion, but you could buy a polo shirt. You know what I'm saying? You could buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a Charger or something. So you feel like, you have something going on when nothing's going on. But in regards to the fixed income, most people don't even know what fixed income is. And they don't even know, like, check it. Anyone listening here, please do this. Do it for a week. Write down every single thing you purchase for that week. You'll be shocked to see where your money's going. People don't know nothing about budget, Fire. They just winging it. They don't know nothing about because they didn't learn. And it's for whatever reason, it's like, what's the term they use about, what's the term they use for conversations people don't want to have? They have some term. Anyway, we as black people don't speak about finances.
They're not gonna speak about it, Fire, because in themselves, you think them in themselves comfortable. When time you have to treat yourself, quote unquote, on a credit card.
Treat yourself, don't treat yourself, right?
Yeah, on a credit card, because these are the things, because you need to get a vacation to get away from what you're trying to get away from, your current reality that you are not even making plans to improve. Because remember, if you go on a vacation, you spend 2 weeks, spend all of these thousands of dollars to get some form of relaxation, you need a break from what? The same struggle where you can come back to. And when you come back to that struggle, you have no plan to elevate yourself from this struggle. So think about it right there. If you not have a plan to elevate this struggle, so what was the purpose of that 2 weeks? Was that purpose of that 2 weeks to get away, unwind, and then create a plan? Or was that for just get away from the reality, then come back into the reality and be a sufferer for a couple more years, do the same thing, and then the credit card bill keep on piling up? We have said these things, and people don't feel like we are divert from the topic, because more than one them overstand say all of these factors are the factors where cause us to be egotistic, cause us to be insecure. And the insecurity part is, I don't know why I feel stressed so heavily, because I feel like the majority of people when we talk about them so insecure that them start push off them insecurities from you. Because when you reason with ones and ones, it's like I tell you the truth in a Fire. Me personally,
The Walking Dead, Fire.
I am start reasoning with people, and every time I leave the reasoning or during the space of the reasoning, it's like my brain, I talk to myself and I say, yo, why me even not do this? But it's a mission still, But I still have to reaffirm myself, say, say the people them kind of last, them are give in to the poison. Especially the majority of the people who we talk to them stuck on TV anyways. So if them are up on a direct jug, the TV is for them farmer jug. So when I hear them, it's like a regurgitation of what them seen in movies, what them seen in shows. So you show them the reality, and it's like the people them can't get it. It's like you are the crazy person where I come towards them. So them can't see that. So them ego start go through the roof. And then when you bring them down to size now and ask them. So, all right, all of these things. You're an expert in all of these subject matters. So tell me one thing. What are your accomplishments? What you accomplish in a life where me can look upon as an example and say, yes, I know that you know all of these subject matters for a fact, because me can see the accomplishment for you. When you bring them down and cut them down to size, them can't show you one accomplishment. I say, so you don't realize that you're a walking failure, or you don't realize you're a walking failure. You have all of these expectations. You never meet any of them. See, I don't know who give you these. Well, I know the media gave you all of these expectations, and the media gave your family members, your prayer generation. Because one tell you this thing to enough of these things, when them talk about generational curse, that generational curse is real. Not by genetics, It's not real by genetics. generational curse
Or
is a
it
thing
sound
where,
an example, yeah.
all right, thank you very much.
Right. But I just want to touch on this. I'm gonna tie it all. I'm gonna touch on both topics. People need to move from this thing where can't nobody tell them nothing. So you're really stunting your growth. And it's not to say everything someone's saying is knowledge that should be applied, but there's certain topics within our community that people get very defensive about. And I know there are numerous reasons for why people are defensive, right? But we need to really grow out of that and have more of an open ear and an open mind for progress. Because I want to go back to the finances. Some people you can't talk to them about finances, yo. They get like super borderline violent, men and women. So if that's your reaction to it, one, you must know you're doing foolishness. And two, you must know you're doing foolishness. I don't know why you get so angry if someone's providing you. No one's judging you. Someone's just, saying like it could be the simplest thing, or they want to turn it off, and it's just a vibe where we have to be open to constructive criticism. We have to be open to new information, right? And we have to be disciplined enough to apply it because it's all about improvement, fight. That's all we say. I know we say this and that, but we're really all about improvement. We want to see people do good out there. In regards to your finances, you have to set a budget. Go online if you don't know how to do it. Set a budget and stay in that budget. And what you'll notice is that when you start making rational decisions with your finances, it'll start your insecurity start dwindling away. Because what you'll start doing is making decisions not to please others based on what you should be doing, but what makes sense financially that's beneficial to you. Because the insecurity that really keeps you broke. I don't care what a man want to tell me, Fire. There's no reason for you to buy a particular thing outside of advertising and what it's supposed to represent, because these companies don't sell brands, they sell lifestyles. If you have this particular thing, like for instance, everything is a lifestyle. So if a person see you with the kente cloth on it, they would say, all right, he's in the Afrocentric, or he's militant, or he's conscious of this and that, right? But if you, same person, Fire, right? Take off the tan, put on some other type of headgear, a fitted hat, and the next jersey now, it's a totally different image. So all we're doing is swapping these. It's like video games, right? All they doing is swapping images that society has given you. The only problem is these images are very expensive, Fire, and they're very pricey to maintain. And you're the one stuck with the bill. All these people you trying to what do you want to call impress, Fire, they not helping you with none of your bills, yo. Most people, hey, this thing called insomnia, and at night people can't sleep. And it's not really personal problems. Some people have personal problems, financial problems, bro. I'm gonna pay that bill. But Fire, why you buy the thing? It's not needed. That's the thing. The stuff is not needed. It's not a necessity. The things that you're buying, you just trying to fit in.
Fire, or a man or a woman are gonna help them even with for them bills when the same people them with them are trying to impress broke the same way like them in the same particular situation. Them sure, because really, all right. Remember reading this thing in a really good book, which is a guide to a lot of people to his the Metanoia, right? I think it was volume 2, if I'm not mistaken. But I think strongly believe a volume 2. It tells us human beings, every single human being is like an individual planet, right? And with them being an individual planet now, them have them own direction for, what them call it, orbit around the sun. They have them own direction and them have orbit around the sun and do them own thing. But them have realized it, there is a path where them have to take, and it only can be towards them, because them have to either go left, right, because there's meteorites and all of these different things within the atmosphere and the galaxy, right? When you are travel along your road, you must realize that every single thing where you do is something where it only can relate to you. So you see, you have to listen to the meditation keenly, to understand what we are saying, because not that you're selfish and not that you're thinking about yourself, and not that we're all physically in a different place, but mentally, we can never be in the same exact space. So you see, you have to approach this thing like you are a galaxy. And you see, when time you approach this thing like you're a planet by yourself and you're on your own journey, you have to realize that if you don't make this move for your particular journey, you will never orbit around the sun, and you will never see a 365. You will never see whatever time it takes to go around the sun, because you have to understand this. You're an important being on this earth, and you come here for a particular purpose. But what is this purpose where you come here for? How you are going to end up reach around the sun? Make sure you fulfill that one duty, and you can start that thing again. Because check it out, a man in a dance world, him and him friend him go pop champagne. Him only know about popping champagne and drinking liquor and all of these things. Go back to bed, do the same thing, talk on phone, go up on the corners, drink some more thing, smoke some more thing. Them take the whole world out of them picture. So you see any type of reasoning where them are gonna have, for them reason are gonna be surrounded by drinking liquor and popping champagne and artist girls them what them can see. So you see, for them mind are gonna get clouded towards the bigger picture. And these are the things. So similar, regardless if you do that type of lifestyle or you do a different type of lifestyle, your mind clouded towards a specific space where you're there at the time and the environment where you put yourself into. You see, now we have to start break down all of them barriers there. And you see, if we not break down them barriers there, we're not going to see the full picture. So we're going to blinded by our immediate surrounding, and it's going to impact how we think. And that's the reason why most people get poorer and poorer. And man start to say, oh, such and such a fighting, until even the same people them in their own and drink all of these liquor with them start become enemy. You see, man start free them one another and start have turmoil, conflict, all of these things now, and them never even get exposed to the world. But you have internal enemy, you create a structure and a system in a year surrounding now where you think that is the world. And that's the major problem where cause the ego and cause insecurity, because we now see the broader picture. You see, until we start to the broader picture as human beings, believe me, man, we are going to trouble and we are going to suffer. And one thing, I can tell them, you see, ignorance is a thing, it can lead you to the grave. Don't feel like a gunshot alone can lead you to the grave. Ignorance is a thing where it deep, and it runs. You still say it runs. It's a thing where it has some roots where it's hard to pop out. So you see, you will talk to a man, and him so ignorant that him can't even listen to it because his brain so heavy, him have so much different things on his brain. But you see, that's one thing we have to do. We have to start help our own self. Okay, see if we can't help ourselves and orbit around the sun like individual planet, we are going to wither away fire, and the ego will just build until we are going to explode. And check it out. The average person, when them explode, when they're gone physically and dead, who the hell remember you? Why, you just a memory. Oh, you know, say, my cousin did dead. I used to have a cousin, he used to live around the road, they drive past him house, like, yo, that cousin did exist. Why importance? What was the importance what the cousin bring towards the earth? The cousin is just a next person, and that is where most of us are. There's some next little individual populating the earth where we're not really doing anybody any good. We don't really mean nothing for you. Like, what is the best thing when most of we can say we do in our life? What? We did party, and yo, I made the biggest champagne and buy. I mean, some Ace of Spades, I did buy at the party, then 70 of them man, I used to spend $700 on liquor, you know. What? So I'm waiting do. That time biggest contribution. All right, continue driving. The memory gone in a 10 seconds again. So we have to really overstand them things. Enough time we not get it. That's why we just have build up ourselves for really a fall. I tell you.
Rising for a fall. All right, fire. Hey, we give thanks for everyone tuning in right now. B.H.N.T.D and the Dread podcast. Give thanks for the reasoning. And all I can say is fire. People need to easy on the ego and be open to information, you know. Also remember, this Sunday, Roots and Culture Reggae in the Park, July 25th. We're outside 2 to 7 p.m., 29th and Chalmers Park. Music provided by Medina International, Proper Tone Sound. I'll be out there spinning. Special guest, Bushman, the one Autarchii. I think somebody else was supposed to pass through. I didn't even tell you who was supposed to pass through. So special guest. So it's real Robodub style, you know? So we get thanks anyway.
Well, let me hear you say mountain.